May it please the court. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, those who avoid responsibility must face accountability. This case is about a man who schemed to protect his wealth, not to build a legacy, but to hide from his responsibilities, to avoid paying what he owed to the very people who worked tirelessly for him, including my client. Imagine this, working day in and day out, with faith that your labor will be honored, only to be ignored, discarded, and left with nothing but empty promises. That's not just unfair, it's unlawful. Here's what the evidence will show. The day after finalizing his divorce, Jeff Smith transferred the Deer Haven property, a home worth over $1 million, entirely into his ex-wife Olivia Smith's name. At that very moment, his law firm was collapsing. He was under state bar investigation for misconduct involving a minor. He was facing mounting debts, unpaid wages, including over $20,000 owed to my client. And instead of paying what he owed, he made his most valuable asset disappear. This wasn't some mutual agreement in a contested divorce. There was no fight, no negotiation, no property division battle. He just gave it away. Ask yourself, why would a man hand over $1 million property the day after a divorce while drowning in debt? Now let's talk about fraudulent transfers. Under the Uniform Fraudulent Transfer Act, a transfer is considered fraudulent if it was made with the intent to hinder, delay, or defraud creditors, or even without bad intent if the transferor received no reasonably equivalent value and was left insolvent. And here's what you'll hear in court. Olivia Smith admitted under oath she paid nothing for the property. Jeff Smith, at the time, could not pay his employees. In a letter to my client, he wrote that he planned to file bankruptcy because of personal liability. These are not coincidences. These are facts, and the law is clear. The defense may argue that Olivia Smith was not responsible, that she didn't have debts, that she was not the one that was insolvent. But that misses the point entirely. Because the law says if Jeff Smith made the transfer with the intent to defraud creditors, we don't need to prove anything about Olivia's finances. She may be named defendant, but the law holds her accountable as the first transferee. So if the defense shifts blame to Jeff Smith, that is totally fine, because that is exactly what proves our case. This case is about justice, about stopping a scheme that was cold, calculated, and cruel. The law does not allow debtors to hide behind ex-spouses. It does not allow million-dollar homes to vanish while honest people, like my client, are left with nothing. Ladies and gentlemen, my client waited and waited for fairness, waited while bills piled up, waited while promises were broken. Now it's your turn to act. Return a verdict that says truth matters, justice matters, and accountability matters. Thank you.